Hello, class. Dr. Morton here. So I wanted to talk briefly about research ethics and the Institutional Review Board. So this is probably going to be a little bit longer than a 2-minute take, but it's a really important topic and one that directly impacts your research proposal. So this week we kind of shifted our focus from data collection methods to ethical considerations and research. Uh, Ethics are not separate add-on. It's not a separate add-on to your research design. It should shape how research questions are framed, how your participants are selected, how data is collected, and how findings are reported. Ethical considerations should clearly be addressed in your research proposal, especially on your specific section on ethics, on the role of the researcher and study implications. So, all research involving human participants is guided by the Belmont Report. Um, well, all research involving human participants and funded by government funds is guided by the Report and the Common Rule. I'm not going to get into that here, but I do want to focus on some really core ethical principles that come from the Belmont Report, and that includes respect for persons, beneficence, and justice. So, respect for persons means that participants uh, are taking part voluntary and that they have been fully informed, that they have informed consent to be a participant. Beneficence requires that researchers really focus on minimizing risk and avoiding harm. And justice was really focused on the fair selection of participants and equitable distribution of the benefits and the burdens of research. So these principles guide IRB review, and they should also guide how you think about your proposed study. IRBs exist because research participants have not always been treated ethically in the past, and their primary role is to protect and ensure that research poses no more than a minimal risk. IRBs really ensure that applicable institutional, legal, and regulatory requirements are met. And while you're not submitting to an IRB in the course, you should be able to demonstrate ethical awareness and preparedness in your proposal. Your role as a researcher is central to ethical research, and your role could differ a little bit by methodology. As a qualitative researcher, you might be focused on attention to bias because you're an active instrument in data collection. In quantitative research, you may be focused more on just consistency and being objective. But in all approaches, ethical responsibility rests with the researcher. As you work through the readings and the assignment this week, really pay close attention to how ethics, IRB consideration, researcher role, study implications, how does that all fit together? And your proposal should really reflect a clear ethical foundation and an understanding of how your study contributes to the field of public administration. I am an IRB chair, and so I am very much focused on when I review applications, I am focused on informed consent. Are participants clearly informed that of the study and the implications, and that their participation is voluntary? Um, does the study propose nothing more than minimal risk for potential participants? I work in an organization that deals with marginalized and vulnerable populations, and so I am pretty rigid about my approach to protecting participants. And so I want that to be clearly demonstrated when I receive an application through the IRB. And so I really want to see how you are adhering to ethical guidelines and how you're protecting your participants when I read your final research proposal. Remember, I'm here to help, so reach out via the Canvas inbox if you have any questions or concerns. Thanks.